Welcome to the Steak Knife Show, where we don't know what to talk about, so we pick topics.
Generated by AI. Did you reorganize these in the notes?
Nope. I did not. You
Okay,
say that every time.
It's because I'm fucking 20 concussions deep. We'll start with this one. Big picture, philosophical things, right? Don't know
Okay.
why it's under that one. Should cops, military law enforcement, even be teaching punches and kicks?
Ooh.
There's not a single moment that I would ever risk kicking somebody with a gear belt on or even a vest on above their knee. I might shin kick them, especially if I've got like boots on, but I don't think
Yeah.
you should be wearing boots. You should be wearing running shoes. You're supposed to be athletic, not... I don't even know what the point of combat boots is anymore. How good hiking shoes are and stuff like that. You should be wearing those.
I think the mantra still is like the standing in one place. But even then,
I would rather wear comfy shoes if I'm going to stand
Same.
in one place.
I was going to say, having been somebody who stood in one place, the only thing that boots did was just jig into my calves.
I don't know that you should be
Like-
teaching punches either, because you can break your hand and you lose your ability to manipulate tools on your belt, things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know That's fine.
I guess, like, do you think, like, a lot of those, like, kicks and punches are still born out of the, like, OG, like, 1980s karate shit that a lot of these guys were learning back in the day?
Yeah, but on the
Disable them from a distance.
yeah, but on the
Like-
same in the same vein as that, especially when you watch the old fucking cool like grainy training stuff of them at, like, what is it, Ellis Island, where they trained, like shirtless, barrel chested, just throwing each other on concrete.
I mean, it was probably New York because that was where the original police academy was.
I'm talking about like what happened on here.
Oh. It finished setting up its iPad, which is
Okay.
fine.
Thanks.
I'm talking about that Marine video I send you like once a year of them like showing the Marines like jujitsu.
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah.
What's wrong now?
Nothing. We're fine. It's still rolling.
Oh.
It's just being ridiculous. So,
No, I don't think that you should worry about punches and kicks anymore. Plus, in a fight, like I can tell you 1,000 times, and we can rep it 1,000 times. Like, don't throw a punch, don't throw a punch, don't throw a punch, don't throw a punch. But like, in a life or death situation, you're gonna do what comes natural. And if you don't train, like a term that I never really put to, like I'd heard it, but it never really sank into me until you fucking drilled it. Is like fight IQ, fight IQ, fight IQ. Like, it's very hard to get lost in a fight if you train a lot, but I have seen it happen even with trained fighters. Now we're talking about like individual, like how each individual is something, right? It's like you see a great competitor who has like A, B, and C, right?
Yeah.
And like they always work, and then they run into somebody who studied them or has a different body type or just has a better balance, and like A, B, and C they have an answer for, but that competitor who has a deep bag
yep.
can't go anywhere else. They're just stuck in this cycle, and they can't accept that it's not working because it works every time. And like, you have to be able to adapt, and like everybody's adaptability is different. It's like when it's, the interest, martial arts to me, like I never really liked like boxer or striker versus grappler. I don't care about that. What kind of striking? And then in that, like Muay Thai, you have kicking schools, you have clinching schools, you have elbow schools. Like same thing with boxing. You have southpaws, you have peekaboo, you have movement-based fighters. You have swarmers, like and then in grappling now, like you just layer and you layer and you layer and you layer, and so it really is like martial arts being, I think, one of the coolest arts is like how you express yourself against the world. Punching and kicking is as old as time, and you will never get rid of it. I can't say that I would never kick. I would have to have been rocked, or like I'd have to have seen, like maybe they have a super wide boxing stance and I kick their leg out with a good Thai kick, right? But should you be teaching it? No, you should be training open hand strikes, even throwing knees in a wrestling state like what we live in. I don't know that you should be throwing knees and getting picked up into the ground or picked up and slammed on the ground. There's an art to doing these techniques. It's not just hitting a bag.
I was going to say, with the popularity of grappling, and I wouldn't even say just wrestling, the popularity of grappling going up, whether it be judo, grappling, or jiu-jitsu.
It's jiu-jitsu, and it's because of Gordon Ryan and Craig Jones.
Yeah, absolutely. But And that's tying back into fundamentals wrestling and stuff like that, because now they're like, oh, we mostly do no-gi, and stand-up wrestling and stuff like that is fantastic for the no-gi application.
I really wanted Craig Jones to either get invited or show up randomly or just do something Craig Jones does as a promotional guy.
Right.
Going like doing those John Wick ones where like black belts are fighting in suits.
Yeah.
I really want to do one. I want to go to fucking Giant or where is it? Goodwill
Austin.
and get a shitty suit and just do a John Wick match. It'd be so cool. Like I like it because like or like and I'd like to see it like you could even theme it. Like are you going to do a John Wick one? You're going to do a homeless or bum fight where like you're in a hoodie and like sleep pants.
The unhoused, sir.
The sleep pants. Like, I mean, you could do so many different things, and then you could really show like why you should be training everything. And then you get some real crazy ones like me. Like, I would do a combat jiu-jitsu match in clothing.
Ooh,
what a cool, like,
wild.
what a, and the first thing I would do is I'd wear a super loose hoodie and either try to rip the sleeve off or get it off and use it to strangle somebody. Tie a noose and start to drag them around the pit. Or hog tie them.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things that could be done, but, like, would there be a market? Would it be boring? Like, things like that.
I mean, honestly, the one that's kind of surprised me with its popularity is the in-car jiu-jitsu fighting, the in-car grappling. I think that it's interesting, but it has become like much more popular than I would have ever assumed.
The only thing that I've ever seen complaints on is like people are like, I have no idea what's happening, and you can't get good angles because of the car.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But you know, I would absolutely love to see an MMA match with gloves, and with people wearing street clothes. That'd be so cool.
That'd be sick.
Like you get these myths of like people grabbing belts that are in jeans, and then the loops break, and so the belt's just free floating
on their waist.
And then I don't ever want shoes involved because I want people to be able to escape stuff, and you're just asking for a rolled ankle. I don't think it's a good idea. Yeah. But like MMA gloves, mouth guard, referee, and you can use all of the clothing. So like rip the hoodie, use it as like a garrote or garrote.
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
I think that's right. But like that would be cool. Like but like back to the original question, punches and kicks for law enforcement, military security. I get it. Tale as old as time. You're going to have somebody that's just going to like ham fist you in the face. But like
I would just hit him.
Just
like I would just shoot him and I'd whatever. Like
okay, like when your hand breaks, and it might not. Maybe your hand's like maybe I'm just dainty little fingers like
yeah, maybe you're like that. Those monks who are like, hand hardening.
Maybe I should do that shit. I did it with my shins. Like I got talked into as a stupid white trash teenager from Kansas City. I got talked into going and kicking a tree every day. My shins are dead. Yeah. It's one of the main reasons. Like I dig them into people because I don't feel the bone on bone. Like
I don't have dead shins for the same reason. I was a cart boy for many years in a parking lot. Like I pushed carts like for a grocery store, and the back rack of those carts
hurt.
Like I've probably had awful shin splints, and I would re-hit it on those, and like literally it made me sick to my stomach, and I would almost cry, and I just kept doing it. And then like I have feeling there, not like you're talking about, but it's much different than.
Well, I played. I don't know if it was competitive. I played co-ed competitive soccer.
Yeah.
I never wore shin guards. Like got kicked, got cleated. Don't care. It doesn't matter. On to the next one. The moral weight of choking somebody out on the job. None. If you apply a choke correctly, they wake up in handcuffs and everybody's happy. Whenever I've been choked out and I wake up, it is the most peaceful, serene feeling ever. It's not scary. It looks scary. I know I seize when I get choked out, but like, or I convulse. I don't know if it's a seizure.
Yeah.
But I understand the risk of it, right? Choking somebody out, if you don't train seriously, you don't get reps in. And when I say reps, I'm talking about like his bullshit of like going twice a week. That's not enough. If you're going to consider choking somebody out as a viable tactic, you're training 4 to 6 times a week.
Yeah.
And it's not even up for debate because there's so many things you have to understand. Like when you're doing a choke, like if I start here, but then it turns and now my bone is crushing on the windpipe, I need to release the choke. I also, when I'm applying, I'm using both my hands to weld myself to them. How many people would just simply, I'll just forward roll. And if you don't train it and you don't duck your neck, you'll break your neck or you'll break your face or you get knocked out. Like,
yeah.
But like,
well, scorpion, you'll do
chokes. are super safe if you know what you're doing. And again, even then, when you know what you're doing, some things don't, like sometimes no plans survive contact with the enemy. Like they might have something. And then the other part of it is like you choke somebody out, they have a pre-existing condition, or they've never walked up a flight of stairs and they have a heart attack. Having nothing to do with the choke will be blamed and you'll be thrown in prison. Because that's how ignorant people are, right? Like there is no moral ground about choking somebody. It's really not that scary if you aren't ignorant to violence. It's actually the safest option. In fact, the only thing that I can think of from a safely applied choke is most people freak out when somebody goes limp and they let go, and this dead weight concusses to the concrete.
They're completely limp, and people are just like, huh. Pow, pow, pow.
And they have a massive brain bleed.
Yeah,
yep, that's from the drop, not from the choke. They die,
yeah.
So that's
like in training one time, you had a female officer who trained with us, and we were in an official class, and we rolled, and we were including rolls, and we were like, hey, you train.
Valkyrie, tap.
We were.
She's asleep.
Yeah, I was like, she's out. And you just like gently laid her down. We woke her up, and she literally popped awake, looked at us, and was like, took a second, came to. I was like, you all right? She's like, yeah.
Why are you guys in my bedroom?
Yeah, she was like, I didn't know why you were here. And I said, okay, what do you mean? She's like, I thought I was asleep in my bed and I was waking up into a peaceful morning, and then I see you two assholes. It's like, yeah, that'd be pretty terrifying.
That'd be pretty terrifying. But like, I don't have any moral aspects of it outside of it would be very easy to manipulate that situation into killing somebody, because
going back to the original topic of like somebody's getting lost in a fight, and the big fear is if somebody doesn't train enough, they get lost in a fight and they hold the choke too long because of like a stress reaction to the violence that's happening.
To be clear, to do serious lasting damage to somebody, you have to maintain the squeeze for almost 2 minutes, which is exhausting. It's I was
gonna say, I can't even imagine holding that tense for a minute would be. My arms would be dead.
I'll never forget. There was like a 12-year-old who was wrestling with his uncle, and they both loved pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And he put him in the sleeper hold, which is the rear naked choke. Mm-hmm. And that young kid held on, not realizing his uncle wasn't playing, and strangled his uncle to death. Mm-hmm. And there was a huge thing, like WWF at the time had to like put out a big release statement about how these are trained professionals and like all that stuff. And like that's your like that would be my only moral gray area, is giving these people who I know aren't going to train efficiently such a scary loaded gun, like teaching them how to properly choke somebody, right? But then I feel like I'm doing disservice. I'd rather teach them how to properly choke somebody in the hopes that like somewhere in there is a good human being, as opposed to them, I saw it in a UFC thing and they start doing like a bulldog choke and crush the larynx, and then they're like trying to do CPR to somebody whose throat is collapsed. Like,
and that's the thing, like there are places like LVNR and then the Carotid Institute, which is to essentially combat the copyright stuff of the LVNR. We're not affiliated with any of this stuff. I'm just bringing up things that are in the common parlance and we're commenting on it. But like that kind of thing, like they are teaching people that stuff in some states and in some areas, or it's being audited by experts and they're going out and like, yeah, this is a viable option. And like you said, it's just a look, but no, like
that's good.
Like you said, it's safe.
It's the safest option if you train. And
to
again,
incapacitate
I
somebody.
know it's a joke that floats out all the time here, but like probability says you don't train enough to learn it. So
yeah, that's very true.
Morally, I would not teach it to people who I know don't train. Next question is actually a pretty good one. I think you'll like that one a lot. Is lethal hand-to-hand training still necessary in the gun age?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we literally were just talking about something that could, quote unquote, turn lethal, and it being one of the safest options. So if you're able to incapacitate somebody because of a threat, let's say as a solo officer has risen to something that high, why not be able to safely incapacitate that person and then lay them down, cuff them?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah.
having lived through one of these things.
Right, yeah. Yeah, you have.
As a police officer, dude, we had arrested, I think he's been arrested like 107 times for voyeurism, peeping toms. Like his MO is to take a messenger bag and cut a hole in it and then put a camera. And then he swings it up skirts, swings it underneath female restrooms. And this particular day, he had gained access to the women's locker room and was filming a teacher, professor in the shower, and then one of my self-defense students.
Yeah.
She screamed. He ran out into a class of other people. One of my self-defense students understood what was happening and chased this man.
Right.
Down into the city, right? And, like, again, one of my favorite things to tell, like, because it was a very proud moment for our program. She said, you know, male black, short cropped hair, gave accurate facial hair. The big one, though, is he had reflective silver shoes. And she was like, it's going to stand out. He can't get rid of them. Reflective silver shoes, because he did. He ended up, he was wearing a black T-shirt. He peeled it off. When I found him, he was in a white T-shirt. But I knew where this homeless man, which is always crazy. Homeless people have access to, like, phones and cameras and, like, really nice leather messenger bags.
People leave that stuff.
I know,
out.
And just
people
pick
leave it out. They're like, thanks.
I see it at the hospital all the time.
I know.
Hey, where'd you go? Like, I was gonna take this as lost and found. Like, oh, I went to the bathroom. Why would you touch my stuff? Because I saw the homeless person pass, and on the third pass, I was like, hey, thanks for finding my stuff, and he took off.
Yes.
Like, this is a really nice laptop. Your phone, your wallet is in your backpack that you left here to go to the bathroom. Like, anyway, rolls out from the place that I knew he was hiding. He sees me, starts to run. It was an alleyway. I follow in my cruiser, turn my lights on. He turns and doubles back on me. And I was like, I don't have to, I can say his name. That was full name.
I don't care. Yeah.
Mario Lyles. Like, hey, Mario, put your hands on the hood, right?
Yeah.
It's closing the distance. I'm trying to get out of the cruiser. Kicks the door shut on me. So I have a leg out on the ground. Boom. Kicks the door. Boom. We fall out, right?
Yeah.
On the contact of the ground, my brand new radio, wireless radio that had just got that day.
Yeah.
We were field testing them.
Right.
Those clips are garbage. Immediately ejects like a couple, like I want to say 10 feet away. So all I have is my actual radio, but the mic is disabled because it's Bluetooth connected to that mic. So every time I'm keying, like, they can't hear me.
Yeah, which is why the current place we work for doesn't allow that.
And then my camera, like, hits the door and turns off. So all we have is the cruiser cam.
Right.
So he slams the door on me. We go to the ground. My holster cracks. My pistol holster cracks. We're struggling. I kind of fight back up. Like, he's uppercuts me. It's asses and elbows. Like, I can't remember every strike. I remember getting uppercutted and be like, damn. Like, because he's smaller than I am. He's built like Van Houten.
Yeah.
Right? Real, like, scarecrow, but not scrawny, like strong.
If you don't know, if you encounter somebody who's lean, they're probably one of the more dangerous people you're ever going to fight.
Like, I guess when you think of, like, a gymnast or, like, a swimmer.
Yep.
Like, or you know what? Like a yogi who's like very strong, right?
Yeah.
And so he uppercuts me. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So I throw a knee, and I look down, and he's got my gun.
Yeah.
And it's out. And I said, wow, how did that happen? And so he's wearing his messenger bag, like a seatbelt, right? And so we're kind of fighting with my gun, and I took my strong hand and, like, kept it on the gun itself, and I took his messenger bag and I wrapped it around his head like a loop choke and just started pulling up. Mm-hmm. And I heard him wheezing, so I knew the choke was good, right? And I was like, just hold on, just hold on, just hold on, just hold on, just hold on. And he collapses. And when he collapses, I kind of sprawl and fall on him, and we both get cut open from the gravel. And my gun kind of clatters. And so that sudden drop, I came down with him, and the tension releases. And if you don't know anything about chokes, the second you release tension, for every second that they were asleep, you get about 2 Mississippis before they wake up. Yep. So I grab my gun, I'm on him, and I slam it home, not realizing my holster's cracked, right? And he starts to wake up.
Yeah.
And in the scramble of me trying to secure my gun, like because I could feel something, like I was like, oh, maybe my hood's down, not realizing
my tension's
faulty,
down,
right? Like, so we're fighting, and we start to get back up, and I noticed like he's got my gun again, and it's like upside down in his hands.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like I'm out of options here. Like I've got to do something. So as we're kind of like he's wrestling up, I kind of let him fade up and then huge hip toss, like one of the meanest one. Like the second I felt him in the air, I jumped.
Yeah.
And because I jumped, we hit, and I kind of slid behind him, and in like he put his arms out, and when he hit, like the gun kind of like clattered, like whatever, right? Yeah. And so I kind of slid towards his back, got a hook in, pulled him across, and I mean, I threw a cross-facing rear naked choke, and I arched through, like, and I am pulling, and he's like, I hear him wheezing, hear him saying, like, I'm dying, and like, he's already woken up once. My gun is out, like,
and so, you're not sure where it's at this point.
Yeah,
now.
I think it ended up underneath us,
right?
And so I'm fully extended, and I feel him go limp, and in my head, because thankfully, like, I train a lot, I'm like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6, around 10, I let go, he's out, I roll him to his belly, handcuff him, secure my gun, and while I'm kind of like checking, I realize he's bleeding, and I for whatever reason, I thought that he had some disease, so I started checking myself, I realized I'm bleeding,
right,
and realize his blood is all over me, and I was like, just motherfucking, like,
yeah,
and I look up, and I see some of my partners charging towards me, and one of them I know has a mean streak. This man is handcuffed behind his back. Yeah. He's black. Everyone here is white. Like, and I said, stop. Help me get him on the side. Like, yeah. He's like, he needs to breathe. Like, help me get him on his side. Give me some wipes. Like,
yeah, you know, like,
trying to command the situation and like slow things down. Like, the fight's already happened, right?
Yes, the fight's over.
So like, thank God I trained, right? But the flip side of this is, right, like, they're there, all the cops show up, they're like, you picked the wrong one, like, he's an MMA champion, like, you really fucked up today, and then, like, within 2 or 3 days, like, the whole tone changed. Like, now everybody expects us to just be expert hand-to-hand combat guys. Like, what if we have to shoot somebody, and they look at you, and they're like, well, why didn't you just choke him out? He's fine. Like, and the tonal shift once the, like, pencil pushers and the back office got a hold of the situation. Yeah. Like, again, on top of, like, we got blood contamination. We're giving this, because I broke his occipital bone with the throw. Like, he's messed up. Like, I think I cracked some of his ribs. It took me 3 to 4 weeks before somebody, and it was a nurse who came and met me at a side door, showed me his chart so that I could prove that I wasn't, like, HIV positive. I didn't catch anything, right? That got treated like dirt by my department, by the hospital. Like, it was awful. It was awful. And, like, because I'd used and they were like, that's against department policy. I was like, my gun was out.
Yeah.
What do you...
It's not against the law.
I was like, what do you mean? Like, I did it. Like, he's not dead because I did this. I think, and that was right before, I think, COVID hit, and he only did, like, 3 months in prison on a attempted murder of a peace officer. And then was released to his own recognizance. I think I still have the article on my phone pulled up in a tab, so I never forget.
He's probably out there doing upskirt right now.
I've never seen him come through the hospital, though. He's not one of those.
He's not one of those. He's
a criminal. Like,
but there's, like, this is gonna.
They go to Grant. They take him to Grant.
Yeah, they probably do, just because of proximity, but also just.
He also has never claimed to be crazy or anything like that. So. But
he's a man on a mission. He's got to get those upskirt videos.
He does. But the first time we arrested him, thousands of pictures, thousands of videos.
Is that how he makes money?
It might be from everything from like attractive college level to like old lady and young girl, like just and it's got like over 100 charges for the same thing, and just released. Can't make any money off you. Released. Like,
yeah, really. I mean, that's wild. Stuff like that I know has been a problem all across the city for years, and it's not just like any specific place. Like, it's like that everywhere. Like, there's somebody doing something like that in every place.
Well, that was probably the thing, like, as a police officer peering behind the veil, but then now at a hospital peering behind the veil, like, nobody has an answer for any of this, so we just ship them to different places. It literally is like, where can I dump this person so he's somebody else's problem? And like, I am just amazed. Like we had that yesterday with somebody. Like they're like, I don't know what to do. So they just dropped him at a Waffle House. They took him to a Waffle House that was too hard to come back to us, and dropped him. And I was like, what?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds, but this is super unpopular. There's a strong case to be made for sanitariums.
Yeah.
Like people think they're institutionalized just like prison, like all that stuff. Yeah, but then they're not out. You're not dealing with them. They're in a controlled environment. Like, yes, developmentally, like maybe you do something else with them. You allow them to see if they're fit for outside stuff, and you allow them to have different avenues, but they go back to that place, and then there's like levels to that place. This idea that they should just be out in the city, like free floating, like of their own volition, is where we get exactly what you're talking about.
Well, again, so like let's talk about another one, like a dude that I have never had. Like, I mean, I've had to put my hands on this person before, but like it was never anything crazy, right?
Yeah.
It was more like a guiding hand or like an escort position, nothing crazy, right? He's a frequent flyer. Like he frequents. He's homeless. I know he's homeless. He's in my community. His camp is right next to the girls' school. I have to drive past him and watch the police of my small city, like, or what would you call it? A hub of.
It's a suburb. It's inside the metropolitan area.
Yeah.
Like,
and they just drive past and act like they have blinders on. Like this is a homeless encampment where they're like yelling at people. Mm-hmm. And I get it. Like once a year, you bring in a bobcat and you take all of them either to jail or the hospital, and you dump all their stuff into a dump trunk and you throw it away. And then you let the shrubbery grow up, and then they put their encampment back, right?
Yeah, their natural camouflage grows back.
Whatever it is, for whatever reason, like he had thrown a trash can at the staff members. So I came in, I said, hey man, we got to go back to that room. Like, can you just walk with me? And he comes out of bed, and he goes, you police don't protect anybody, and took his fucking hand and clawed my face. And like they like went in my mouth. And all of a sudden, this person that I've never had to be like violent with has now engaged in a way that, hey, I have to express violence. Like I have to, like, this is unacceptable behavior.
Yeah.
Like
he's clawing at your face, which is
and
it was very dangerous.
It's such a weird thing. Like it wasn't like I was wearing glasses, but it was a claw, but it was a strike. Like he rung my bell.
Yeah.
Like and that's like everybody collapsed because everybody was watching. Yeah. But like my hands were up, but they were at chest level, and I've never experienced with him, and I didn't expect him to move so fast. Because in mid sentence, like we teach people to do, he exploded and got my face, and I was like, mother, like. But again, did what I was supposed to do, got him down, got him in our gift wrap, and was still like with it enough to be like, as our guys came in, hey, watch my glasses. They're under the, like, he knocked my glasses down. Please don't step on them. Put them up there. Can we get a bed? Can we like, but yes, you need to teach hand to hand. I don't know if you need to teach the lethal stuff. Going back to our last topic that we talked about, I don't know if the lethal stuff is necessary, but it saved my life. But again, if I could, we talked about it last week. I would train every day. Like
same.
Like, I don't train just because it's my job. I train because I deeply love it. But, like, once you give yourself the training, like, think of it this way, right? How many of you guys, everybody has a friend who didn't train in anything, right? Yep. They start lifting at the gym. And then all of a sudden they're like, I'll meet you at happy hour or after. I got to get my lift in. It becomes addictive because it's healthy. It's good for you. It's your safe place. Like, we have one of our guys on the cadre that, like, he doesn't train, but he lifts. And you can tell when he doesn't lift. He's almost unbearable. I love you, but like you're like,
it's true. Like,
so, but like it's,
I would say arguably like sometimes like the verses of like lifters versus trainers. Sometimes the lifters are worse when they don't lift.
Yeah, because they don't have like. I always wonder what that was. Like that's physical fitness, and that's like that's. I don't know. I always kind of viewed it as like martial artists, like when they just have something, like, because you train against another body that's trying to demonstrate control of you, like things just don't matter as much. So like the bills that you have looming after you've been choked out by a small a person, boy or girl, the size of a child, like doesn't mean as much to you. You can handle the struggles of life as opposed to like lifting a heavy thing and setting it back down in the exact same spot. Not that I'm shitting on you guys. It just isn't for me. But like the mental disciplines are different, right? And I would argue if something came up, if something heads up came up, like a case in point, you have a family thing and your wife really wants to go, right? Yeah. You will accept that you have to skip training.
Right.
And that's discipline.
Yep.
On the flip side, completely acceptable if a lifter's like, I will meet you there, I'll only be this many minutes late.
Right.
Because they have to get their lift in. Yep. Respectable. Disciplined, boundaries. Right. But that way they know they will be a much better partner at this family function because they got their endorphins or whatever the chemical is that gets released.
Dopamine.
Right? Dopamine, right. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, like, I respect both of them. They're both masters of their craft.
Yeah. It's just a different... The only thing I will say is if you're in a job where the expectation is you're going to put your hands on somebody, you better be doing both.
You better be doing something. I won't ever lift a weight. I won't. I know I won't.
I have no problem lifting weights. In fact, I was much more of an exercise junkie than a fighting junkie until recently, and I love both. And for me, they feed each other. But I also understand what he's saying. Like, if you're like, we're gonna go train hard this week, I ain't lifting. I'm not doing any ancillary cardio, especially when it's like we're gonna bang out at least 2 hours every day. I'm gonna be like, or even more. I'll be like, yeah, not a weight will be picked up. The weight of my body moving from point A to point B to fight people will happen.
Up and off the toilet.
Yeah, up and off the toilet. I'll do this to eat food to fuel in between like training, but I am not, unless it's like I need to like I got my ribs crunched in or my spine's compressed and I need to decompress it.
Yeah.
Then you'll get some recovery exercises out of me.
Yeah.
But that's a completely different thing.
I might lay on a lacrosse ball.
That's I might lay on a lacrosse ball. You might see me like on a yoga ball, like bending my spine out and like all my ribs go brink.
I wish that would happen to this one right now.
Yeah.
It's been messed up since you jammed me.
Sorry.
Well, it was already.
I know it was bad already, but you know.
Hey, it's going to pop here soon.
Yeah.
And then I'll be a bitch for a little bit. What's our next one?
I mean, we're good.
How do you win without humiliating somebody?
Ooh. So being a good winner is really what you're saying?
How do you win without humiliating somebody? Which is a good context in terms of law enforcement. Like, how do you let somebody save face? Or in our job?
I mean, just...
This goes back to one of our very first episodes where, like, you speak to them like they're a person.
That's one of the big things that, like... Tone, specifically at where we live, has become a really big thing.
Yeah.
Like, if
you say it respectfully, I would have done it. I don't believe you.
And I don't mean just even, like, the subjects. I'm saying the perception of any kind of aggressive tone or tactic when we're talking about like voice stunning, or like an authoritarian tone, because everything is recorded, and I mean everything now. Like, the expectation is essentially you could be getting shot, and if you survive it and you said one wrong thing or you have an elevated tone,
canceled. Yeah,
not just canceled, just like it's, we lost the moral high ground. Like, huh? We lost the moral high ground? With who? With the criminal? I'm confused.
This is an interesting one because, like, I've been running into it a lot. So, like, this, like, that's why I like our job, because I have so many examples that are fresh, right?
Yeah.
Guy gets brought in and is going to be pink slipped and continues to, like, build, like, we have to, like, step in, whether it just be, like, closing the distance or whatever, and we have to go from asking to telling, and then, like, people, like, again, we're touching it right now.
Yeah.
A nurse was like, do you really think that threatening him was the way to go? And I said, where was the threat? And they were like, you asked him to change. I explained it because he's clearly, like, in some kind of crisis.
Yeah.
I was like, look, man, we've gone round and round for over 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I've asked you to change. I'm telling you to change. If you don't do it right now, we're going to make you change.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to physically change you like a child.
Yeah.
And she said, do you think that threat was necessary? And I was like, I am explaining the situation in a respectful manner. She said, you seem very aggravated. And I was like, I seem like I am at the end, and I am telling him with the seriousness of the situation, like, you need to do this before this happens. And then he has 2 shirts on. He takes one of his shirts off. Yep. And it's still staying there, full jewelry. Like, we need his pants off. We need his shoes off. Like, we need him in changed, right? And then he takes his shirt off, and he said, I've given you something. Now you take a step back. He's already done this 3 or 4 times. We step back, goes back in a circle talking, and I was like, I'm not taking a step back.
Yeah, you're just going to
I'm going to step forward, and then I'm going to take the rest of your clothing off.
Yep.
And he said, you're not going to talk to me like that. You're going to respect me. I said, I have been more than respectful. I'm respecting you right now. It's not like I have you down and like I'm like violently cutting your clothes off, which is, I mean, and if you keep playing, like, we might have to go that route. Like, I'm not sure that we can get these jeans off. Like, we might have to cut them off of you. Like you need to, like, be helping. I'm trying to save your clothing and your jewelry and
give you dignity
and, like, give you some dignity here. And he said, you can't offer me even that modicum of respect. And I was like, I am not going to give this game where, like, I give you an inch and you take a mile. You've already done that enough. Like, we've done that enough. We're not going to go backwards now. If I step forward, we're going to change you. And we ended up having to, like, unfortunately, like, step forward, change him. And, like, it became a big thing. And then, like, one of the doctors was like, I just feel like you were just pressing the issue. And I said, Doc, we've been here for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Over 25 minutes. Well, I know you're busy because I've been a patient here. Yeah. And I think it's ridiculous that you're here for 45 minutes deep, and patients that were waiting, that have already been waiting in the lobby for multiple hours because you were dealing with this.
Yeah, you're dealing with a
when you
crisis.
could, and you want to talk to him when, like, there's no talking to be had. Like, he's just babbling brook of nothingness.
Yep.
Like, on repeat. He's on a loop. So you need to give him whatever it's going to get him so he can sleep off whatever he took, and then you can assess him when he's back in the reality.
You can do a real assessment. Now legally they have to do that.
No, I understand that.
Little talk,
Right, but like but Doc, every time you're like, hey, Mr. So-and-so, like, I'm doctor, and he's like, fuck you, like, I want this and I want that, and then you're like, hey,
I want cheeseburgers and this. Like,
and like, I appreciate that you're trying to give it the college go here, but like, there's stuff to do, man. Like, at some point you got to draw a line in the sand and do this. And he's like, well, like, I just don't know that, like, it needed to go that way. I said, what way? He's not hurt. We were still like, nobody got elevated. Nobody struck him. Like, nobody hit him. We literally just took control of him and placed him into a bed.
Yeah.
While speaking to him like an adult.
And to be quite honest, all I heard was, you provided a way for medical care to continue by using medical interventions.
Maybe you're smart enough. Have yet to run into that.
Yeah, I know.
It's a
Maybe
lot.
They
of,
think
it's
they're
a lot
on
of.
Don't assume their gender.
It's a lot of need a shower summer. That's what it is.
It's a lot of no sock laundry and need a shower summer.
I think we've
exhausted. Yeah, I think so.
Stay whimsical. Stay combative.
Find us next time. Maybe we'll be on the mats next time. Let's do that next time.
Or the news.
Ooh, yeah.
Maybe you'll see us in the news.
Mat news. All right.
Chet news.
Yeah, the Chet work. Bye.